It's great to know about several different types of documents used in gaming, but what about actually writing a document? Knowing about concept documents, high level, low level, and even GTD is awesome, but what if I feel I'm not able to write properly? If you have asked yourself these questions, then you have come to the right place. Writing good design documents is a skill on its own, so it was only a matter of time that we discussed this topic. Hello guys, this is Duilio here, but you can call me Dewey or Dewey, and welcome to this video series about creating game design documents. We are here to learn how to create a usable, organic, and outstanding GDD. This is video number 8 in the series, where we will jump straight into learning how to best write a design document. If you missed the previous videos, by the end of this one, I will direct you to the list that includes everything we have covered so far. I highly recommend you watch the previous video for context, because we actually started to build a GDD, so I am leaving a card up here so you have that video at hand. Staring at a blank page can be daunting. You have all these thoughts and you want to communicate them, but you don't know where or how to start. This is very common and it happens to everyone. The dreaded writer's block, which is also referred to as creator's block, is a monster that lurks in every corner. He's actually one of the villains on my very own indie game project. Go check it out whenever you get the chance. Links in the description of the video. But let's not get sidetracked. Allow me to first tell you what you must never do when approaching a new document. Do not try to write it perfectly right from the beginning. Trying to write the perfect word or the perfect sentence at every turn is going to be draining and time-consuming. Write first, edit and polish later. What you actually can and should do is two approaches that are always really useful to me. Dump all the information in your head with unconnected sentences. Do not aim for organization or cohesiveness right now. Just drop everything you have in your mind and then you can proceed to arrange it properly. Following on this, use bullet points to enlist your core ideas about each topic. Pretend this is like some kind of shapeless clay, and only once it's out of the package, you can begin to mold it. The other approach is to categorize the content beforehand. If you can visualize your ideas in your mind before writing and you can create initial categories for them, go ahead. Like for example, when I started to write the script for this video, I first wrote the titles for each section. And actually, this one is the first sentence I wrote for this video after creating the category titles. Both approaches are similar and equally useful, since they will allow you to actually start working. Remember, the worst thing you can do is to stay paralyzed in front of the blank page. Do not let Sear Block win. Okay, so we have the clay, then how do we mold it? In the low-level design video, we saw that the best thing we can do is divide our documents in two. The first part should be always the instructions for the person who is going to work with your design document, and the second part should be the concept process behind the design intentions. You can describe your thought process, your references, or simply add more context for your team to understand what you want for this feature. As a habit, do this exercise. What is the most basic component I need to describe? What must my reader know first? Also ask yourself, who is your reader? If your design document is for a developer, then you will probably write the implementation instructions and you will focus on the low-level design. If your design doc is for an artist, then you will probably focus on descriptions with visual references. It all depends on who needs to know what. We got information articulation and arrangement out of the way. So what's next? How do I actually write this thing? I can drop here a couple of simple tips that will steer you in the right direction. Write short sentences. Try to reduce your design to simple sentences that you can connect later. This way you can make sure you use punctuation in the right way. Following on the same line, always use punctuation. Do a grammar check when you are done writing. This one may sound a bit silly, but always read the document you finish writing. You have to make sure that the text makes sense. And finally, when it comes to style, don't tell a story, get to the point. And well, even I struggle with this one. Seriously, even I struggle with avoiding storytelling in documentation. However, this is indeed good news. The good side about writing documentation is that you don't really need to be a writer. In fact, I think that us creative writers are probably bad at writing documentation because we have a lot of other tricks of the trade we use when writing, and I learned this the hard way. A design document isn't a blog article or a short story. It is tempting to get carried away and explain everything you thought of before coming up with a design. It's tempting to tell an anecdote before cutting to the chase. How many times have you searched for a cooking recipe and before getting the actual information, you have a whole story before the recipe? My point is, if you think you won't create good documents because you have no writing expertise, don't worry at all. Okay guys, we are quickly approaching the end of this series. If you missed the previous videos, I am leaving here a link to the entire list of the video series so you can have a better grasp of what we want to cover here. Nothing more to add this time. Remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you for joining me. See you on the next one.